Hey guys, welcome back. So continuing our talks on night terrors, we've come to the point for what's been teased to be the death of Deadman, which for a while has had me scratching my head, trying to figure out how is that even a thing. But now it's here, so we gotta pick it apart. So let's get into it. But first, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to catch the spills every week. And don't forget to hit that bell up top to get all notifications so we can squat up in the comments for the first hour. Alright, so for this one, we jump right back in, where we'd seen Deadman and Sandman ambushed by Insomnia's sleepless nights, which right away for Deadman, this cues another one of his monologues, which seems to be his way of coping with everything going on here. Cause what better time to have one of these than in the middle of an attack? But for a brief moment we see Deadman talk about his childhood and how in his younger days he would get approached a lot for motion picture shows, which he would turn down, preferring theater, because the theater allowed him to connect with his audience. But the theater thing didn't really pan out for Deadman because every time he stepped out, he'd forget his lines. So I guess looking back, it's a good thing his trapeze artist career kicked off. I mean, or is it? But jumping back to the current events, with Deadman and Sandman getting attacked, they notice the Sleepless Knights avoiding Mr. Terrific, which lets them know that these guys must have the order to only hunt people who are awake. And since the batarangs and sleeping gas ain't doing much, the two of these guys instead make a run for it. But as they do, one of these Sleepless Knights gets ready to take a slice out of these two, but not before Damian can cut in and save these guys at the last minute. But also with Damian showing up here, it's not really so much as a surprise to us as the reader, because like I talked about before, Damian had seen Insomnia in his dream, so he went to a master of sleep and dreams to study his techniques and read as many of his books as Damian could get his hands on so that he could try to interpret what he saw in his dream, while at the same time stopping himself from going to sleep to avoid another unwelcome encounter. But like we talked about before, this is where Damian was when Insomnia took just about everyone down. And from this time with Damian staying awake, he immediately went looking for his father. And at the time we were told that Damian's journey would continue in Night Terrors issue 3, so there's that as well. But the thing that is surprising to see when Damian shows up is that there looks to be no additional trickery, because before there was hints towards the possibility of Damian not actually being awake and us seeing him going back and forth a bit before showing up, and I'm glad it didn't come to that, because when he shows up here it's the real deal, and with him fighting off these Sleepless Knights, he gets Deadman Batman to the roof along with Sandman, and they make their exit to the Batplane. But as soon as they get up there, Damian sets it to autopilot and he gets down to business, with him saying, "Demon, get out of my father's body, now." Which is pretty funny, but also when Deadman leaves Batman's body, Damian can see him, and when Deadman asks like how is that even possible, Damian just lets him know that he has way too much experience with death. So next, Damian goes on to fill in Deadman and Sandman about his journey over the past few hours that the world's been under, which for him feel like weeks. And even now he can feel the nightmares pulling at him and tugging, trying to make Damian go to sleep. But then it's here where Deadman uses the connection between him and Insomnia, which is a bit of a risky move, because whenever Deadman does this, it gives up their location. But given the circumstance, with the Sleepless Knights being on their tail already, Deadman does it anyway, because Insomnia's goons already know where they are. And for a moment, Deadman sees glimpses of the other nightmare tie-ins that have been going on, though randomly shuffled around. But the quantity just goes to show that Insomnia has been searching far and wide in heroes and villains in his desperate attempt to find the Nightmare Stone. But eventually this brings Deadman to another one of Insomnia's memories, where this time he's at a survivors meeting, where he's expressing how he hasn't slept in days, and he's doing everything to keep his eyes open, even to the point where he got arrested for trying to buy something to keep him awake. And the other people at this meeting, they're trying to comfort him and give him words of encouragement, but he just tells them that he can't go to sleep, because every night he sees them over and over, and he sees it happen every night in his dreams. And then one of these guys tells him, hopefully, one day he'll be able to forgive the Justice League. Which right there triggers Mr. Lucas, and he snaps by smashing the coffee pot on the dude's head and taking a shard of the broken glass to go to town on the guy. And for a moment I thought the lady in the background was gonna put that chair to use, but unfortunately that wasn't the case here. And the villainous origin story of Insomnia continued, because after going crazy on everybody at the meeting, while saying all he wants is for everyone to open their eyes to see the truth, this then leads to him cutting off his eyelids and looking directly at Deadman while saying, "I wouldn't go any further into my memories, you won't like what you see," which is just the classic horror moment that scares Deadman and gets him out of there. And when he comes back, Sandman and Damian are just looking at him like, well, I hope that was worth it. And in a way it is, because Deadman now knows that Insomnia has searched nearly everyone's nightmares and had no success with finding the Nightmare Stone. And if John D told him that it wasn't in the land of the living either, then that just leaves one more place, the space between the dreaming and waking world. And now with them having this idea, Sandman lets them know that he can help them get there, because back in his day, before he put on that mask, he was a chemist. So he makes the two of them a modified version of his sleep gas, so they can head into the between space together. And really, this is something Deadman could have done by himself, but Damian insists on going with him so that Deadman doesn't screw it up. So to make this work, Deadman's using Batman's body again, because it won't work on him otherwise, and the two of them make their way to the in-between. And while the two of them are going under, Sandman is watching their vitals and really just watching over Bruce and Damian's body, since they are utterly defenseless while this is going on. And with things going so well, one of the sleepless nights finds where they are, which of course was given away when Deadman went peeping into Insomnia's mind, looking at his memories. And now, while Deadman and Damian are under, Sandman has to protect the two of them, so they have bodies to come back to. Meanwhile, with Damian and Deadman traveling through the in-between, Deadman tells Damian that this place is called the Hollow, and Damian's able to observe that the way that this place appears to them now is just the way that his mind processes it. But also, while they're here searching for the Nightmare Stone, a bit of a conversation kicks off, with Deadman telling Damian, like, so, you're the son of Batman, huh? That must be cool. And Damian tells him that it is, sometimes. And I'm glad to see Damian admit it without any extra smack talk or anything like that. Cause also when he goes on to tell Deadman how him and his father have been working on their relationship, because being Batman and Robin, that eventually clicked for them. They were able to make that work. But on the flip side, when it comes to being just father and son, they haven't quite figured it out yet. And for Deadman, he tells Damian that he never had the chance to have a family, because being a trapeze artist and risking his life every night, he just didn't want to take the chance. And Damian tells him, like, man, that's a hard way to live. And then suddenly, the two of them hear their names being called, which then leads them to this eerie looking little house in the woods that Deadman says must be the House of Horrors, because he's seen the House of Mysteries before and the House of Secrets, but this is something different. And as they approach, Deadman can tell that they're getting closer to the Nightmare Stone, and the two of them are hoping that Sandman can keep them under just a little bit longer so they can grab the Nightmare Stone and get out. And little do they know, Sandman is out there fighting for his life, or better yet, fighting for Damian and Bruce's life, because, you know, Sandman's got the whole zombie thing going on right now because he ain't really got a life. But you get what I'm saying. Though meanwhile, with Damian and Deadman walk into the House of Horrors, Deadman now realizes why he felt that haunted feeling hovering over Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, which was not only because the Nightmare Stone wanted to be found, but also because it wanted him to find it. So when they walk in and see this circus set up, in the distance they see a body laying on the floor, and right away Deadman knows exactly who that is, because it's him. And immediately he recognizes the lies that he had told about his death, because he would always tell people that he was dead before he hit the ground, but that wasn't true. He felt the bullet, he felt the impact from falling. And the reason why the Nightmare Stone is showing this to Deadman is because before it's taken, the Nightmare Stone requires a sacrifice. Though in this case, not your typical blood sacrifice. Though if it was, that'd be messed up because Damian the only one here. But instead of it needing someone to be sacrificed, it's really more of the case of Deadman facing his fear, facing his nightmare, and digging into his own chest to pull the Nightmare Stone out. And while this is happening, we flash back and forth from the Hollow to the real world, where we see Sandman still fighting off this sleepless night, to where finally that fight is over, because Damian and Deadman have returned. They have the Nightmare Stone, and now they can use it to stop Insomnia, which now explains the whole death of Deadman thing, which was kind of being teased from the last issue, and I mean really even before that. Because low-key I've been saying to myself, like, man, how Deadman gonna die again? And if he dies again, they gonna change his name to Deadman? I don't know. See, once I started thinking about it, I just went down the rabbit hole. But this is yet to be concluded, and we'll see what happens in due time. And so now real quick, I want to give a special shout out to all the patrons. Thank you guys for all of your support. And for anyone who's new here, who wants more information on how to support the channel, I got a link below where you can go to patreon.com/Dopespill. But that'll do it for this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. and we'll do it again on the next one. Alright, later.